Mr. de Klerk, loss-making for ArcelorMittal, perhaps it speaks to the challenges that the industry is facing. But how do you plan to arrest this loss-making position?
Two items. One, it is still a loss. Fortunately, it is significantly better than the loss that we had last year. There's a lot of activities that was put in place over a period of time. And I think if we're successful with the implementation of those, my forecast is that we will have a better second half. And hopefully, one of my main purposes is to turn this negative profit around into positive territory, and we'll be working very, very, very hard towards that.
So now government has also introduced import duties on steel. What do you make of this?
Very successful for the bound rates of 10% on 10 of our products. We are very grateful for government to have that insight in order to approve that, not only for us as a company, but I think positive for the steel industry per se. There are some, we still, as you just said, we still made a loss of 450 million. So there's still a lot to be done in order to get to profitable levels. And government is playing a pivotal role to make this happen. It's the only way that we're going to ensure that we have job creation in this country, which is so important for future growth. And I just saw yesterday the Reserve Bank came out with a 0% growth forecast. That is terrible. So if we don't work and make sure that we protect our own, we're in serious trouble as a country.
Let's talk about the future of ArcelorMittal, especially in the light of low demand and excess supply.
I was part of the Kumba results presentations earlier this week. Major play in iron ore. They don't foresee better prices. So we do not foresee that the commodity prices are going to increase, coal, iron ore, etc. And therefore, if we have a positive on steel prices, that will be a bargain. But I'm not betting on that. The rand, of course, can be very unstable over the next few months. I mean, we have the American Hillary vis-a-vis, the man himself. We have our elections next week. We're still living after the Brexit exit, so the impact on the rand can be severe. We see how it came down over the last few weeks, so that also may have an impact on our earnings for the next half.
Quite evident that you operate in a very, very challenging environment. This makes me wonder about your prospects for job creation, staff morale, and also your relations with the labor or the unions.
I've been so impressed. And I'm not part of that legacy, I just inherited that. I'm so impressed with what ArcelorMittal and the official unions are doing together. They really stood together and form a triangle with the government to make this work. So this to me is an example of how we have to do it in this country. It's not us versus them anymore. We're all part of the same cake. We all have to make sure that we work towards creating jobs. And therefore, I think, we were very successful in not shedding any jobs over this period, and that's part of our commitment. And hopefully, if we are in the position to open up Everest again, we will actually create jobs. And we are working very close with our people and the communities in that. At the end of the day, we influence not only the people working for us, we influence every community that we are part of, and I've got a passion to make sure that we work together in order to make it work for this country.
And just finally, we know that the Reserve Bank has already slashed its forecast for growth in the economy to 0%. Tell me how ArcelorMittal will make its contribution in making South Africa's economy better or to grow the economy.
The elimination of imports, we effectively are creating jobs nationally. That is the only thing that you can do if there is no demand. At least make sure that you continue as a local South African company to create jobs. And how we're doing that is to make sure that we're running our businesses at the max in order to produce the downstream steel producers with steel. And having been part of that process to eliminate imports, I think have contributed greatly to that cause.